Dala! Welcome. So today we are going to be talking about one of my favorite topics. We are going to talk about dreams, as you've seen on the title, and today we're talking about dreams and time travel. And I know it's not the woo-woo time travel, it's not something like silly and crazy. I mean, we are in the dream realm, so anything is possible anyways. And that's the rule number one. Anything is possible in the dream time. Anything is you can manifest anything, you can experience pretty much anything. And so it was obvious that you could use your time in the dream space to travel through time and to even escape time and space as we know them. And so dream travel can be used when you want to go back and check or want to go back and experience things that were so beautiful you want to experience again. You can use them, for example, to experience your wedding again, your engagement party, the first time you met your significant other, or any other pleasurable experience that you will want to relive, okay? Relive over and over again. And this is not like a memory. This is not like when you are daydreaming or dozing off and you're just thinking about it. This is really when you're sleeping and you're going there. Remember, when you're in the dream, it feels as if it was real. You have all the sensation and you are truly feeling everything that's happening. You're feeling that you're hugging the person, you're feeling that you're looking at them, touching them, feeling them, all of those different stuff. And so you can go back in the past and relive those particular moments. Whether it was, with the loved one before they pass away, whether it was a friend, a significant other, or whatever ever joyful event that you've had. You can also go back because there are things that you may have missed before. Someone may have told you something and you interpreted it a particular way, so you may go back to see exactly if you want to make sure you didn't understand yourself, and you want to go back and see exactly what was said, how it was said. Sometimes it could be also detail that you've missed because you may have been distracted at that moment. There may have been things around you that you could have seen. This is particularly important when you are talking about going back to an event or a moment that was not so agreeable, that was uncomfortable, or that was even painful. And you can go back there to see exactly what happened, to look at different things and see how you could have prevented that from happening, what you should have paid attention to, so that you have that learning experience. Sometimes when we're thinking about painful moments, the reflex that we have is just like, oh, you want to step away from that, you want to step away from these feelings, you don't want to think about it again, you want to repress it, pretend that it never happened, but it's still there. You still have to do that. It's still there somewhere within yourself. So it's much better and much more conducive to just go ahead and look at it and say, well, this happened to me. I didn't really like it. I don't want this to happen again. I don't want to go to that route again. But I want to learn from that experience. I want to make sure I'm not going to repeat it. And I want to make sure that if there's any additional wisdom from that, I can get it. And this doesn't involve other people, it only involves you. I think this is what the beauty of the dream realm is all about. That you're not counting on herbs, you're not counting on someone else telling you this or telling you that or doing something for you. You have that own ability within your own self, and you're able to experience and see that ability expand and manifest on its own while you're dreaming. Okay, so that's kind of like one of the superpowers that we all have, that we all can access, that we can all use, and that is so underrated. So many people are scared of their dreams. So many people don't even care about dreaming. So many people want to stay awake all the time, all night, all the time, and don't utilize this. Don't utilize that. So one of the other things that you may want to go and do, and that you can do, is actually go and correct some stuff. This is why it's so much powerful. What's the point of just going back in the past and reliving that, and now that you have all the information, so now what? Okay, the point is, like, now you go back, you see all this different information, and then you can see things unfold. You can go even before the situation happened, and see what are the things that could have helped you prevent that from happening, help you make better decisions. And this is where you even have the power to change things, to change how you experienced something in the past. Okay, and I know that this may seem woo for people who have never experienced that, for people who've never done that, or for people who can't even remember the dream to begin with. But this is essentially because in the dream realm, time and space have no hold. how many times in dreams you can go to different places, and that's the theme for a different video. But time does not have any hold on you. And I think the difference between when I talk to you a lot about, you know, when you have premonitions, when you have different information coming to you, it's like the information is coming to you, the situation in the dream is being exposed, and you just have to live that. However, when you're doing dream travel to time travel to dream, to the dream realm, you are choosing to experience certain things. Okay, you're no longer a victim, and that's why I said the victim mindset is not going to work here. This is not about you being scared about somebody doing something to you. This is about you taking charge and you deciding to change certain things about the experience that you had in the past, in the present, or that you're going to have in the future. Because as much as you can go back in the past, see something that happened to you as a child, modify how you respond to it as a child, modify how you respond to it, how you, even the decision that you made in that situation or before the situation. Because when you are in that dream state and you are going through the channel of time travel, that means that you're escaping the circle of time or the frequency of time. You're no longer subject to that. So you can go back to the experience that you had even before the experience happened, and you can connect with your own self to warn yourself. Okay, and this is the aspect, the less talked about aspect about intuition. Sometimes a lot of people talk about intuition as something that's disconnected, or something that's like, oh, it's your higher self talking to you, or it's like your soul talking to you, telling you and warning you. It's like, and there's this kind of disconnect that is something that's of you but not really of you, that's there helping you and guide you. And I understand that feeling, because for a long time I used to be on that paradigm because I had not experienced doing this through my dreams. And so when you do it, it's just kind of like, this is not just your intuition, this is yourself, this is you from the future telling your old self, you know, the warnings. It's like, don't trust the situation, don't trust your friend, or don't trust this guy, or this is not gonna end very well, you can escape this. And when you go back, you have the capability to go back and observe a scene. You have the capability to go back and go and be within your own self. You even have sometimes the capability to go back and be in someone else's shoes, someone else's desk, just to have a different perspective of what actually happened. That's a little bit harder though, because you do have to be, that will be the object of another video, but essentially when you go back, you can warn yourself. So this is why sometimes, and you can warn yourself so that you can actually change what happened. You can actually change what happened in the past. Instead of going right, now you're going to go left, because you know going right is not going to end very well. And so when you do that, the individual, the old you is actually hearing you. That voice that they say, oh, this is my intuition is telling me I shouldn't be going there, or I shouldn't be doing this or talking to that. You may be thinking it's your intuition, but it's actually you, it's actually your voice, because you're actually going in the past. And obviously, and eventually when you decide to do something different, you're changing the course of everything and changing even how you feel now. Okay, the same way you can go and dream travel into the future. And this is different from a premonition, because as I've mentioned, there's a difference between when the information comes to you, like in a premonitory dream, where the information just comes to you, you don't really have a choice to escape that information, and sometimes it's going to keep coming and coming to you, recurring dream, in order for you to get that and apply it and do something with that information. Here is really different. Here you're going to see what is going to happen, let's, I don't know, 2030, about me, about this particular aspect. You're able to go there in your dream and see that, okay, you know what, some of the decisions I'm making now, this is not going to end well. This is not going to end to where I would like to end, or this is not going to end the way I will prefer it to end. And this is not about what other people are doing. This is things that only concern yourself. How you perceive certain things, how you experience certain situations, and how you have the ability to change that. And to change that by making sound decisions that are going to serve you, that are going to support this new perspective or this new experience that you may have. And then by going in the future, you're able to see that, and you say, okay, now I'm coming back to the present, and I'm sure not going to stay on this track. I need to change my attitude. I need to change how I'm perceiving certain people. I need to change this and that, so I don't end up there. And so that's another way. And to tie this a little bit in, I'm going to tie it with something that, deserve a video of its own, which is the Mandela effect. The Mandela effect is oftentimes tied up with conspiracy theory. Is there somebody somewhere is doing something to trick you and you don't know why, you don't understand why. But there's this deserve actually a whole video on its own. But part of the Mandela effect that I'm talking about is when you go back and you change certain things. And some of you who are oblivious, who don't know this, who've never done this, who've never time traveled, who've never made effective change that had an impact in your present life, probably won't have any idea of what I'm talking about, and may be still stuck on the whole conspiracy of other people doing something, to confuse you or whatever, okay? And I often say, don't worry about what other people are doing. Worry about your own self. The more, if you are focused on yourself, there's certain things that are not even going to cross your mind. They're not even going to distract you or deter you or deflect you from other things, or they're not going to either hinder your thought processes, hinder your perception about certain things, okay? In any kind of situation, they always say, if there is a plane crash, you help yourself first before you start helping other people around. You make sure you're okay, in a position to help before you start actually helping other people. And that's exactly the same thing. Instead of worrying about who's doing the Mandela effect around you, worry about your own self. How is that affecting you? How is your own bubble in your own vicinity? So anyways, to tie it to the dream travel is that, yes, when you go back and you make effective change, you may see this and feel this as a Mandela effect. And so the difference is that the big Mandela effect that everybody's talking about is things that are measurable, that you can ask someone else and say, hey, do you remember this? Or hey, do you remember that? This is a lot more harder. Because, for example, if you went to a party in high school that ended up with you going to jail, for example, and having the police call your parents, all those different things, then you can go back and tell your old self, don't go to that party. That day, just decide to stay at home. And then now when you're going to go back and you're going to do that, and in the dream, you're actually eventually connecting with your own self, and your old self is saying, I'm not going to go, oh, you know what, telling my friends, I'm not going to go, I'm going to have a test or something to study, and I'm staying home. Okay? And now you can watch this, you can actually implement and see and watch this and ask your friends and be like, oh, do you remember that party? I wasn't there. Did you remember seeing me at that party? And you will see that some of the people will have doubt, they start doubting. Even the people who were with you that day, who remember it very clearly, they may start doubting. And you'll be like, no, actually I wasn't there. I was with my sister. I stayed home. You remember? So there's few little different things like that you can see, that you can go and do, and then you can see and measure that it has an effective impact on the reality as you know it, your awakened state as you know it. And of course, for me, be cautious when you're trying to trick and manipulate things to your own advantage, where you're actually hurting other people. Okay, it's one thing for you to learn from a past experience and a past mistake that you've made and make sure that you don't make that mistake or you avoid that mistake. It is something else to go back and try to trick people and do a kind of twist the reality, because that may create ripples, because then you're impacting someone else's will. And that's another whole different thing. So it's just something for you to just open your mind. A lot of my videos are meant for you to open your mind to different things, to different ways of perceiving things, not to get trapped in the rigidity and things that are being fed onto you, and that you just understand that there's a lot of things out there. A lot of things that you may not have thought about before, a lot of things that you may even have experienced, because a lot of you write to me and tell me about some of the experiences that you've had, and this is when I'm seeing that a lot of us actually have this ability, have experienced so much, but yet don't have the outlet or the place where they can talk and discuss about that. So I think it's important for the rest of you to know that, we're not all the same. We have these abilities and this capacity to do. And I think, to me, it plays an important part in the fact that a lot of the things nowadays are trying to keep you awake. The TV was meant to keep you awake by having channels non-stop 24/7. People are going to be late waking up late, waking up early, going to bed late, waking up early. So not even spending that much sleeping time. I mean, if you ask my parents, like my sister used to give me the nickname of cat, because I used to sleep like a lot. I could sleep during 24 hours for 24 hours. And you know, my mom, sometime my mom would wake me up and say, hey, you need to come eat. And I'm like, no, what did you do? I was like, I haven't finished what I was doing. So sleeping is almost a right. And you know that if you can't prevent somebody from sleeping, otherwise you will die. So you need to sleep. And so dreams and time travel, Mandela effect, ability to impact your own experience from the past, modify your past decisions, modify your own perception. Obviously, also with dreams, and I have to mention this because sometimes I get messages, and just to say, this is not something that I woke up and I just started doing last week, or that I've seen, you know, this is something like I've done this for, you know, more than 30 years, okay, since I was since I was able enough to express this to someone else. Okay, I've been doing this for as long as I can remember, and my memories go back to 1 year old, to even less than 1 year old. So it is something that I've learned, that I've experimented, that I've looked and say, but in all of those years and all of this time, I understand some fundamentals, and maybe I just understood them intuitively or intrinsically, that I can change a lot of things, but there are certain things that I should not change. And when I say should, I didn't say I cannot change them. Yes, I can. You can impact any kind of changes you want, but it's not because I can that I should do it. There's a wisdom, and there's a difference in there. And it's a difference sometimes that you have to learn with experience if you're not wise enough to understand the meaning of it's not because you can that you should. Not everything is meant to be done. Okay, sometimes you just need to know that you have the ability to do that. You know, it doesn't mean you have to do it. And so there are certain things that I know I'm not going to go and change, that I know I'm not going to go and try to influence, because it may ripple in ways that can be favorable to me, or ways that can be even highly unfavorable. So it has nothing to do with fear, it has nothing to do with that, it just has to do with other people's will and other people's capacity to subconsciously make their own preferences known. Okay? So I hope this was useful and you find it interesting. Of course, if you have questions, leave them below. If you would like a dream consultation, of course you can just email me. Information will be in the description box. And otherwise, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.